Section 5, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975. This is to state for the record that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the public by posting and maintaining the annual notice of regular meetings on the bulletin board of the municipal building. Also by mailing the annual notice of regular meetings for 2025 to the News Record and Star Ledger in December of 2024, and by filing said notice in the office of the Township Clerk.
Mr. Daffis. Mr. DeLuca.
Here.
Engel.
Here.
Sherman.
Here.
Mayor Adams.
Here, thank you.
Whereas Chapter
Sorry.
231, Public Laws of 1975, commonly known as the Open Public Meetings Act, requires all meetings of public bodies open to the public. And whereas Section 7A provides that the governing body has the discretion to permit, prohibit, or regulate the active participation of the public at any meeting. And whereas desire the governing body to comply with the provision of this act, same time to conduct its business in an orderly and expeditious manner. Now therefore be it resolved by the Township Committee, Township Maplewood does hereby prohibit, except set forth in the formal agenda, active participation in deliberations of the governing body by the public, and except as otherwise prescribed by law, does limit the public to the observations of the actions and discussions of the governing body at all of its regular and special meetings.
So moved. Can I get a second?
Second.
Mr. DeLuca.
Yes.
Engel.
Yes.
Ms. Herman.
Yes.
Mayor Adams.
Yes, thank you. I'd ask everyone to rise for a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you all wouldn't mind remaining standing, we have a few remembrances to do this evening, unfortunately. We had some very wonderful members of our community who passed away recently. So we have 3 moments of silence, if you'll allow. The first is for Dr. Jane Ann Bean Folks. Though a resident of West Orange, she spent much of her professional life serving the South Orange Maplewood community as a K through 12 English teacher, English language supervisor for our Board of Education. She dedicated her career to supporting students and teachers, helping generations of young people grow and thrive. We honor her service and her lasting memory and impact on education in our community. Please observe a moment of silence in Dr. Bean Folks' memory. Thank you. Next, we remember Jonathan Cohn. Jonathan grew up in South Orange, graduating from Columbia High School before returning to Maplewood in 1973, where he lived for the rest of his life. As an attorney specializing in bankruptcy and commercial litigation, he was respected in his field, but he was equally cherished as a neighbor and lifelong member of our towns. We hold our hearts for his family and all who loved him. Please join me in a moment of silence for Jonathan Cohn. Thank you. Finally, this one's hard as a neighbor of mine since 1989. We honor Tom Nebius. Tom was a 45-year resident of Maplewood. He was funny, and he'd be yelling at me right now for getting choked up, for sure. He was a devoted coach for girls softball and soccer. And for many years, he gave his time and talents to building and rebuilding the replicas of our buildings that make up our cherished Dickens Village, including the Women's Club. Beloved for his wit and dedication, Tom embodied community spirit in every way. And he was the mayor of Bowden Street. So
He was.
He was. Let's hold a moment of silence in Tom's memory. Thank you so much. So good evening, everyone, and welcome to the September 2nd meeting of the Maplewood Township Committee. Tonight, we have three proclamations. First, for melanoma research, the Robert Miller Oyster Fest in honor of Robert Miller, which will be read by Mr. DeLuca. We have Patriot Day and National Day of Service and Remembrance for September 11th, and that will be read by Committee Member Engel. And then we have Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month to be read by Deputy Mayor Herman. We have Environmental Advisory Board and Committee appointment, along with 4 appointments to the Rent Leveling Board. Then we will open the floor to public comment on agenda items only. Then we will move into our Board of Health meeting, which will be run by Committee Member Engel. Then we have a few ordinances, 2 on final passage, 3 on final passage, and 1 introduction of an ordinance. Then we will go into we go into reports from departments, administration, attorney, and clerk, and reports from elected officials. We'll start with Committee Member Engel, Deputy Mayor Herman, Committee Member DeLuca, and then I go last. We have 1 discussion item on for tonight about adopting an ordinance adding Salter Place to the list of streets with no parking within 5 feet of a driveway. Then we have the consent agenda, and then we have public comment on any subject matter. And then we will go into closed session to continue what our conversation was in closed before. We didn't want to keep the meeting to start too late. Then we'll come back out of closed session to adjourn this meeting, but effectively this meeting will be over before we go into our closed session. So with that, I will ask Mr. DeLuca and anyone here from, I see several, from Robert Miller Oyster Fest to join Mr. DeLuca at the podium for proclamation. Grace? Come on. Ms. Mayor Davenport, did you want to join?
John,
I know, I was trying to be polite and finish.
no shorts for nothing. Yeah. I'm going to read the proclamation. I'm going to have you say. So this is a proclamation for the Robert Miller Oyster Fest in honor of Robert Miller, and this is for melanoma research. Whereas most people do not realize that the skin is the largest and most visible organ of the body and performs many essential tasks. And whereas substantially more than 1 million new cases of skin cancer will be diagnosed in the United States this year. And whereas 1 in 5 Americans will develop skin cancer during their lifetime, and whereas melanoma and other skin cancers are highly treatable if detected early, and whereas sun exposure is the most preventable risk factor for all skin cancers, including melanoma, and whereas researchers show that indoor tanning increases a person's melanoma risk by 75%. And whereas the 2025 Robert J. Miller Oyster Fest will be held on Saturday, September 6, 2025, and whereas 100% of the funds raised by this event will benefit the Melanoma Foundation, and their mission is to raise funds and awareness for melanoma research. Now, therefore, be it resolved that on behalf of Mayor Nancy Adams and the members of the Maplewood Township Committee, I do hereby call upon all Maplewood residents to join in supporting melanoma research in honor of Robert Miller. And I'm going to ask Grace Miller to come on up and say a few words about the event. And I want to
Thank you very much for continuing to support this event and this cause. My girls, two of whom are here, and we thank you so much. It's a wonderful way to remember Bob and hopefully to save some lives. And I would be remiss if I did not say that Tom Nevius was a very, very special part of our team here. And we too will miss him greatly. And your words were beautiful. So thank you, everybody.
I don't think so.
picture. Carol's got that camera though. One more for Miriam.
Thank you. Committee Member Engel, I'm going to turn to you to read the Patriot Day and National Day of Service and Remembrance.
Thanks, Mayor. Patriot Day and National Day of Service and Remembrance. Whereas every year on September 11th, we remember those who at the World Trade Center, Pentagon, and in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, lost their lives. And whereas to honor the lives of those who were lost and to remind one another of that feeling of oneness that came from such a tragedy, we celebrate Patriots Day on September 11th and National Day of Service and Remembrance. And whereas Patriots Day focuses on the period between 8:46 a.m. when American Airlines Flight Number 11 collided with the World Trade Center to 10:28 a.m. when the North Tower of the World Trade Center collapsed and 3,000 people lost their lives. And whereas the National Day of Service and Remembrance honors those from across our nation who volunteered, offered condolences, and without being prompted, live up to John F. Kennedy's famous inaugural address quote, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, on behalf of Nancy Adams, Mayor of the Township of Maplewood, and the entire Township Committee, proclaim that September 11th is Patriot Day and National Day of Service and Remembrance. I ask for those in attendance and those watching us online to join me in a moment of silence for those who were lost. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Engel. Deputy Mayor Herman, Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month.
Thank you, Mayor. Whereas, while ovarian cancer is considered rare, affecting 1.3% of women at some point in their lives, an estimated 13,270 people are expected to die from the disease in the United States this year, and 19,710 people will be diagnosed. And whereas no definitive method exists to screen or test for early detection behind surgical biopsy, however, like breast cancer, a family history of mutations in the BRCA1 and BRCA2 gene can indicate the potential of ovarian cancer. And whereas considering symptoms include common feelings like bloating, pelvic or abdominal pain, difficulty eating or feeling full quickly, alongside urinary symptoms, it is important to make the public aware that if symptoms last for more than 2 weeks and are new or unusual, you should see a gynecologist. And whereas ovarian cancer often goes untreated until it is in an advanced stage, and at that stage, the 5-year survival rate is nearly 50%. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Malia Herman, Deputy Mayor of the Township of Maplewood, on behalf of Nancy Adams, Mayor of the Township of Maplewood, and the Maplewood Township Committee, proclaim that September is Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month. Together with the rest of the Township Committee, I implore all citizens to educate themselves about the symptoms, learn their family medical history, and advocate for loved ones as they advocate for themselves. Thank you.
Okay, well, that was a very somber way to open a meeting for the last, so I just thank you all for all the words and all the participation in these remembrances. You're welcome to stay, of course, for the whole meeting, but right now we're going to move on to board and committee appointments, and I'll turn it over to Committee Member Engel for Environmental Advisory appointment.
Thank you, Ms. Adams. The Environmental Advisory Committee and I would like to nominate Toby Thompson to the Environmental Advisory Committee. And Toby is here in the audience. He's in high school, and we'd love for you to come up to the mic and just introduce yourself and tell us why you would like to join the committee.
Hello, everyone. I'm Toby. I've always been interested in the environment, and it's very important to me on a global and local scale. And this was really interesting to me in township politics to kind of like really see the process of how you can get things done, and how long that takes and what that process is like. And I think that's all like very necessary, and because in going forward and in this world for me. And I would also like to give as much insight and help as I can as a student, and hopefully try to get people interested and involved, and yeah, help as much as I can from my student perspective at Columbia High School. And yeah.
Great. Any questions from my colleagues?
What year are you?
I'm a senior.
Senior,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so we've had an amazing CHS now graduate on Environmental Advisory Committee for the past few years, Alanya. And so now we're really excited to have Toby joining us from CHS to fill her big shoes. And as well, we're going to have a sophomore applied as well. So he's going to kind of shadow Toby. And then when Toby graduates and if he moves on from Maplewood, then Beckett Maida will then fill his shoes so that we can continue to have a high schooler from CHS on our committee, because it's been very, very valuable.
Yeah,
So we're really excited.
thank you for stepping up.
Yeah. So with that, I officially move Toby to the Environmental Advisory Committee.
I second.
Mr. DeLuca,
Yes.
Engel,
Yes.
Sermon,
Yes.
Mayor Adams.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
So we have the rent leveling board and we have appointments. Should I do these all at, I'm going to do them all at once. So anyone who's here, Larry Fisher, Barry Travis, Ilana Novofestovsky, and I apologize if I butchered that.
Mayor, she's online.
Oh, okay, great. Pat, she's online, yeah. And Bob Thompson, right? Is anyone else here besides Ilana online? Yeah, come on up to the mic. Where's Larry? Oh, Larry, come on. Larry, I knew your dad way back when in South Orange. Larry and Leah. Barry and Larry. Alana, you have to change your name to a Larry.
I'll take it.
There you go. So thank you all. Why don't you tell everyone a little about yourself? I'll start. Usually we put the in-person first, but I'm going to start with Alana first.
I was just going to say, I read your mind. You actually pronounced my last name very good. I'm surprised. It's usually a topic of conversation and people get stuck pronouncing it. For those that cannot pronounce it, you can definitely call me Ilana Novo. So just a little bit about me. I'm new to Maplewood. I'm going on a year now. And as a born and raised diehard New Yorker, it was very tough for me to find somewhere to love in New Jersey. And when I moved to Maplewood, just a 5-second story, I was ready to sign the lease before I saw the apartment. I fell in love with the town instantly, and I asked them how long the lease was, and I extended it before I saw the apartment. So we took the lease into the apartment, and then I signed there together. So when I saw this opportunity, I was very excited to get involved as a renter.
Great. Well, thank you. Barry? I just wanted to see what
Good evening. My name is Barry. I'm now no longer new, but a year-long resident in Maplewood. My partner Lindsay and I were actually first-time homeowners in Maplewood, and also with that, first-time landlords. Prior to that, we were renters across the state of New Jersey. So I'm interested in being involved with the Rent Leveling Board, giving tenants an opportunity and a better communication method to interact with the town, with landlord disputes, and then also help kind of navigate new policies to control rent growth and look for, more multifamily opportunities in the township. So thank you.
Thank you. And Larry?
Larry Fisher, born and raised in New Jersey. Actually did grow up in a probably rent-controlled apartment at one point, but I also own a number of properties in the town. We have a number of apartments and a number of residential tenants. So I do appreciate the opportunity to bring my experiences to hopefully come up with something that's fair on all sides and for everybody involved. And I just look forward to working with everybody on it.
Great, thank you. And Bob Thompson is not here this evening, but he's also nominated. So with those introductions, thank you all for volunteering. And I would move the appointment of Larry Fisher, Barry Travis, Bob Thompson, and Alana Novofestovsky.
Second.
Wait, I got it right.
Mr. DeLuca,
Yes.
Ms. Engel.
Yes.
Yes. Mayor Adams.
Yes, and thank you all again. Thanks for coming and thanks for volunteering. Congrats.
Thank you.
All right, this takes us to our first public comment on agenda items only. Is there anyone in the room who would like to speak to the Township Committee and any items on the agenda tonight? Please introduce yourself, your address, and you have 3 minutes to speak.
Michelle Barbaro, 51 Coolidge Road. I have two comments on items on the consent agenda.
Okay.
The first one is Resolution 15I, awarding a contract at various locations. Can you, I read the content of the resolution, and there were no locations specified. God bless you. Can you tell me what they are?
Could you tell me
Yes.
the resolution?
It's
I mean, the number?
15I.
15I.
This is primarily Boyden Avenue from Irvington Avenue down to the Irvington border.
Thank you. Number two, 15Q, resolution. Resolution states that RONR, Robert's Rules of Order, newly revised, 10th edition, is to be used as a parliamentary resource. RONR 10th edition was printed around the year 2000. It has been supplemented by the current 12th edition, 2020. So I suggest that you change your bylaws to conform to what is the more appropriate resource. And also in the original one, there is no mention of virtual attendance at meetings. That has been revised since COVID and since Zoom has become so popular. So the more current edition would be more appropriate.
Could you rename the more current edition again?
Say it again.
What was the more current edition that you mentioned?
Unit 12, edition 12,
Edition 12.
12th edition. And you can get it through National Association of Parliamentarians,
There you go.
nap.org. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we pass that resolution with that amendment, or do we need to pull it out? I'm just asking the attorney, Ms. Barbara. With that, and then still leave it on the consent agenda? Okay. So then why don't we do that? Is everyone okay with that?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So we're just updating what it's based on. Okay. Is there anyone else in the room who would like to speak to address the Township Committee?
Hi, I'm Daniel Wright, 41 Oberlin Street, the chair of the Historic Preservation Commission. Just wanted to speak in support of the resolution regarding the front-facing garages. We think it's a good step to breaking up some of the blockiness of some of the new builds that have been occurring in town, to create more visual interest like a lot of our historic housing stock has. Some architects, commissioners have spoken with have suggested more of a setback, 6 to 8 feet. I don't know if they've said that to the Township Committee, but that's just some of the things that we've heard, but we think it's a step in the right direction. And we look forward to helping the town develop some design guidelines at some point in the future to help with things of this nature. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else like to address the Township Committee on agenda items only? Mr. Ware, is there anyone online who would like to address us?
If anyone on Zoom would like to speak on agenda items, please raise your hand. I see no hands, Mayor.
Okay, with that, we'll close the public comment for the first time, and then we'll move, so I'll turn it over to Committee Member Engel to run the Board of Health meeting.
Thank you, Mayor. Pursuant to Section 5, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, this is to state for the record that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the public by posting and maintaining the annual notice of regular meetings on the bulletin board of the municipal building, by mailing the annual notice of regular meetings for 2025 to the News Record and Star Ledger in December 2024, and by filing said notice in the office of the Township Clerk.
Mayor Adams,
Here.
Mr. Daffis, Mr. DeLuca,
Here.
Herman. Here. Ms. Engel.
Here.
Whereas Chapter 231, Public Laws 1975, commonly known as the Open Public Meetings Act, requires all meetings of public bodies be open to the public. And whereas Section 7A provides that the Board of Health has the discretion to permit, prohibit, or regulate the active participation of the public at any meeting. And whereas the desire of the Maplewood Board of Health to comply with the provisions of this act, same time to conduct its business in an orderly and expeditious manner, now therefore be it resolved by the Maplewood Board of Health, Township of Maplewood, that it does hereby prohibit, except as set forth in the formal agenda, active participation in deliberations of the Board of Health by the public, and except as otherwise prescribed by law, does limit the public to the observations of the actions and discussions of the Board of Health at all of its regular and special meetings.
So moved.
Second.
Mayor Adams?
Yes.
Mr. DeLuca?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Ms. Engel?
Yes. And now I move to approve the Board of Health meetings from August 5th, 2025.
Second.
Mayor Adams?
Yes.
Mr. DeLuca?
Yes.
Ms. Herman?
Yes.
Ms.
Yes.
Engel?
And now I turn things over to our Health Officer, Candace Davenport.
Good evening, everyone. We'll start the slide presentation to show that September is National Preparedness Month as well. We want to let people know that the state OEM has a new website for their New Jersey Register Ready. For those of you who are not familiar with it, it's New Jersey residents with disabilities or access and functional needs can provide information to emergency response agencies so that in the event of an emergency, first responders can better plan and serve and respond to you during an emergency. There's instructions on that slide on how to register online. If you need any assistance, either the police department or the health department will be happy to help you navigate registering your family member or yourself. Next slide. We also want to mention that September is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, and the National Organization for Mental Health, SAMHSA, has a whole month of activities focusing on different topic areas, and we just want to always bring attention to the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline and suicide prevention for the month of September. Next slide. For those of us who need assistance with social services, we do offer a free service that is at the library from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays through CSP&J. They provide all these social services available, and the service is free, so we hope that people take advantage of it. Services like signing up for WIC, SNAP, getting your birth certificate or ID, or rental and utility assistance, they are there to help. Next slide, please. We also want to make mention that we do have a new community resource guide to assist people with finding those social services, and we hope that people can use them. If they need a copy, we have them available at the health department for free. Next slide. As for our nursing update for August, 4 reportable diseases were investigated. Next slide. What we really want to focus on, though, is that the cases of measles. in New Jersey is increasing. We now have 9 reported cases of measles in 2025. To give you an estimate of where we are in 2024, there were 7. The most recent case was in Ocean County. There were 2 confirmed cases among infants less than 6 months of age who participated in international travel but were not vaccinated. So we do want to raise awareness to people that this is something we're watching very carefully because, again, we are the most populous state in America, and we have 9 reported cases so far. So it is through travel, it is through unvaccinated persons that we're really trying to prevent an outbreak and encourage people to get vaccinated. The next slide just provides the standard information on the measles nationwide, but we do want to bring your attention also to the next slide, which is on malaria. On August 18th, there was a confirmed case of malaria in New Jersey in a Morris County resident. The state health department is doing an investigation as to whether this was travel related, but they're concerned that it might not be travel related, which means that they acquired the malaria disease through a mosquito in New Jersey. This is concerning, so we just want to make mention that the whole state is looking at this, and this is time for mosquito control, but we are especially being very vigilant. So if you see Essex County mosquito control spraying, these are the dates. In September, they spray between 12 a.m. and 7 a.m. in areas where they find positive mosquito pools for West Nile virus. So again, malaria is spread by mosquitoes, West Nile virus. These are all mosquito-borne diseases. So just want to let everyone know what the county is doing in terms of mosquito control. Also, some good news, we have free flu and COVID-19 home tests here at Town Hall. We just picked them up recently. They're available at Town Hall from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. You can pick up 2 packets per household, and in each box there's 2. This is new, that there's a flu and COVID-19 test in one test. So that's a really exciting thing. We hope that people, when they start to feel sick, will use the test and avoid spreading it to others and stay home if they're sick. Next slide. Just want to give an update that we had our free health screening thanks to Robert Wood Johnson Barnabas Health and the county. They serviced 8 residents for stroke risk assessment, blood pressure, and glucose testing and education. Next slide. Moving on to environmental health update. These are just some of the activities that our environmental health registered sanitarian has done for us. Next slide. We do want to emphasize that this Saturday, September 6th, there will be a free rabies vaccination clinic from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Maplewood Community Pool. And if you're a Maplewood resident, you can then join the dog day at the pool that happens at the same time at the Maplewood Pool. So we want to say special thanks to South Orange Animal Hospital, who will be providing the rabies administration, and the vaccine rate for the rabies is free thanks to the state health department. Next slide. Now we get to present, and I have the honor of giving the microphone to Martha Eustache and Dina Purcell, who are our crisis intervention social workers, who will give you a report on the crisis intervention social worker program. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Martha Eustache. I am a licensed social worker, and I have Mrs. Dina Purcell here, who is also a licensed social worker, and will be giving you an update on the social service and mental health services that we've been providing in Maplewood. So we are located in the health department, along with nursing, environmental health, which includes the health inspectors. Candace, our health officer, is our immediate supervisor, so that is who we report to. Slide. We do have coverage Monday to Friday, as well as Sunday. So we try to arrange it so that, it's mornings, some evenings, and then on Sunday, we do have on-call hours from noon to 4:30, as well as 4 to 8 o'clock, that we do follow up with cases at those times. Next slide. For August, we did have 25 cases in total. 3 of them were co-response, and co-response is us responding with the Maplewood Police Department. We did have 16 follow-ups, and there were 6 other calls, which included walk-ins or people who actually called us directly. Next slide. So in total, from January 1st to as of recent, August 31st, we had a total of 209 cases. Most of them were follow-ups, 107 cases, and co-response, it was 46. And we did have others where that included home visits, either with nursing or our health inspectors, calls, client walk-ins, those were 56. Next slide. So some of the calls that we do get include individuals who are experiencing a mental health crisis, those who have a substance use disorder, or those who have both, which are co-occurring mental illness and substance use. Those who have suicidal ideation, they're either threatening to harm themselves or have acted upon it or attempted to act upon it. We've also been responding to families that have family conflicts or domestic violence or parenting challenges, youth, or those living in the home with parents still. There's some individuals who have been dealing with housing, because there is a housing crisis. And also for the elderly, those who are dealing with dementia or Alzheimer's, we have been helping the elderly population out. And also, there are some calls regarding hoarding or unsanitary living conditions that we've been responding with the health inspectors with, just to try to provide resources and also help the individual with the condition. Next slide. So we do try our best to build relationships with the resources that we are providing to the community. So we do a lot of trainings, and we also go to the facilities. So a lot of the places that we do refer individuals to includes intensive family support services, 988, which is the suicide helpline hotline number. And also second floor, JFS older adult services. We do utilize PES for instances where individuals are refusing to go to the hospital and they do need to be involuntarily committed by a certified state screener. We have been utilizing 211 as well as CSP&J, who we do work closely with since they are the homeless outreach team, specifically for Maplewood. So a lot of referrals do go to them, as well as diversion for those who need rent or other service relating to housing. We have been referring individuals to the loft at CHS because they do provide social work services as well as counseling. And a lot of people may not know about the services within the school, so as building a relationship with them, we can now provide it to the families and the student for additional in-school services. We have been referring individuals to perform care, mainly the kids is up to 21 years old. Perform care, they will come to the home and provide counseling services as well as family services as well. We've been working with the PD in providing the Blue Angel program and the special needs registry. And we have also been referring individuals to Rutgers Early Intervention Support Services for those who need an immediate appointment with a psychiatrist and for counseling. There's so many other services that we have been providing. It would be almost impossible to fit all of them into this slide, but these are just a few that we commonly use to refer individuals who are in immediate need for mental health services. Next slide.
All right. I'm going to jump in, and I'm happy to say that soon, very soon, hopefully, we're going to be utilizing a new software program that's going to help us with our case management and case tracking. And it will not only allow us to more completely report our work, but also work together. So to share case information and to track ongoing cases if they're reoccurring. So the name of the software that's been chosen is Bonterra, and we've looked at a few packages. This one seems to be a really great fit for us, and I'm looking forward to implementing that. It's also very customizable. So based on the reports that we need, we could really customize the software to collect the data that will lead to those reports. So that'll be a nice next step. And the Reach for Recovery van. 8 people were serviced at this last event in August, on August 27th. And they do set up at the community fridge. And they have a table with all kinds of pamphlets, information. They have handouts. They have hygiene related items that they give away. And they are there to talk to anybody who is interested in information regarding treatment, regarding referrals, regarding any questions that they have for themselves, for a loved one, for a family member, for a friend. They're there to talk with community members. And generally, they're there the 4th Wednesday of each month. And lastly, we have the Make the Right Call. This is one of my favorites. I love to give it out at all of our events because I think that it should be in every single kitchen. And I just also like to point out 988 is there. That's a referral that I wish every resident knew about because it's 24/7 available every day of the year. It's always there. When Martha and I can't be right there, there's always somebody there to pick up the phone and talk with them. And it's a trained person that will talk with them and provide them with a supportive ear and also some help going forward.
Thank you so much. I love the guests 2 months in a row. Thank you so much for being here. Any questions from my colleagues on the dais? Go ahead.
I have one question on the 988. Do our police officers utilize that and do they share that information if you're not able to be there?
Yes. The officers are aware of 988 and they also have the screeners, the psychiatric screeners, the emergency screeners that Martha mentioned. So they also can call the screeners as needed when we're not present to assess somebody who is an imminent danger to themselves or others.
Any other questions from Mrs. Herman?
I had a question. I didn't know if you know this off the top of your head or if there's something you can share next time you present to us about the services, but I'm curious about the age breakdown of the calls you receive. Like, are we hearing from mostly adults, families, like children? Just to try and get a sense of it.
It varies month to month, so it's kind of hard to say, who do we hear from most? There's some months where it's mainly juveniles, whether it's, school related or, family conflict, parenting challenges, things like that. But then there's other months where it's mostly young adults, or there's other months where it's mostly the elders. So it's hard to say, but I think for next time, we could definitely go back and look through the numbers just to kind of see.
Yeah, I'm just curious who we're serving,
Yeah.
just to get a sense of that. But you're doing a great job. Thank you so much.
Also, once we have Bonterra, once we have that software, that's something that we can track. That's a data point that we can put in there, and then we'll be able to run a report and have all of that information.
Yeah, I've also been curious about months, like how it compares month to month, and if there's any trends, because Mr. DeLuca puts together these reports for PD, and it would be interesting to see if the calls or cases are going up the same months that we see crime going up. So that might be another data point to look at.
It's a great idea. Just to make note, last month we had about 36 cases, which is the largest number of cases we've had. This program has been going on for 3 years now. Wow. So we can go backward and look at data as well. It'd be really interesting to compare to public safety information as well.
Mayor, did you have any other questions? I had one more question. I really liked that slide you put on the frequently provided resources and referral and I was just curious, I went to our website quickly to see if it was on there, but it's not. Could we have a page on our website with these links of places? Because we all know sometimes it's hard to make that first call. And so if you can go online and find it, it might be helpful to people.
Actually, our community resource guide should be online, and those resources are there in the community resource guide.
Okay, maybe I'm looking at the wrong, I didn't easily find it. On the health Maplewood, I Googled Maplewood NJ Health, and I went to, you got your health page.
Make sure that's on the front page.
No more questions from the dais. Any questions here in the room for our health department? Nope. Mr. Wary, will you help with online?
If anyone on Zoom would like to address the Board of Health, please raise your hand now. Moving over Joan Crystal to panelist. Welcome, Ms. Crystal. You may address the Board of Health.
Thank you. I have just one question. Do we know if or when we're going to have a senior social worker assigned to Maplewood rather than using the online intake number to contact someone?
I'm so glad you asked that, Joan. Thank you very much. JFS is still, to our knowledge, looking for a replacement to service Maplewood as our senior social worker. We've been without one for almost 2 months now. As soon as we find one and hear information from them, we will definitely let you know. In the meantime, you can still call JFS. They do have an alternate provider that you can call for assistance.
If any other members of the public would like to address the Board of Health, please raise your hand. I see no hands, Ms. Engel.
Thank you, Mr. Wary. So I move that we adjourn into our next scheduled meeting on Tuesday, October 7th.
Second.
Mayor Adams,
Yes.
Mr. DeLuca.
Yes.
Ms. Herman,
Yes.
Ms. Engel.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good-
Thank you.
Back to you, Mayor. I didn't say it.
For the
I know. I love it. I was going to pause on it for a minute, but back to you, Mayor.
You're a TV show. All right, but that takes us to our ordinances on final passage. First ordinance is 3164-25. Ms. Fritzen.
Yes, Mayor. On final passage, ordinance 3164-25 is an ordinance to amend chapter 271 of the Code of the Township of Maplewood entitled Zoning and Development Regulations with respect to residential front-facing garage requirements. This ordinance will amend Article 5, zoning provisions of Chapter 271 of the Township Code to incorporate requirements for the arrangement of residential front-facing garages in the R15 and R17 zoning districts.
Mayor, you have before you this evening the version of the ordinance that's attached to the agenda. It also has a slight amendment in it. So the procedure for this evening would be to entertain a motion to amend on second reading. The particular amendment was raised in discussion at the planning board to clarify previously where the garage was located in relationship to the front facade of the dwelling was the same among the R14, R15, and R17 zones. It said it could not be further forward than the front of the dwelling. Because of the changes that were made to R15 and R17, that became a little unwieldy and confusing. So there's a brief language in the ordinance as in your packets this evening that would clarify that for R15 and R17, there's that 2-foot setback. For R14, that same condition that previously existed would remain. There was no intent to make changes to that condition for R14.
Right, and it was, the planning board explained that it would, or talked about it being unclear in the ordinance with the chart that included the R14 zone. So that's the clarification. Does anybody have any questions on that? Okay. So I just wanted, this ordinance has been published, copies posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, and copies made available to the general public in accordance with the law. I'm going to open a hearing on this ordinance.
Madam Mayor, we would do we would do read public hearing on it after this amendment. So we will have one more.
Oh, so it's not going to pass on?
Yes,
Oh,
it'll be
okay. I thought
carried.
you were saying it's going to amend the on second reading. So it's basically introduced again now and in first reading.
Essentially.
Yeah.
It's moved
Okay.
back.
So how do you want me to handle that? Do it on first reading and with a hearing to be held on the next meeting?
If we could just entertain a motion to amend as just described with hearing on the ordinance and final passage to be considered on September 16th.
Okay, I'll make that motion. So I move the passage of the amended ordinance as discussed on first reading, its publication according to law in the Maplewood News, South Orange News Record, and a hearing to be held on September 16th. Can I get a second? Mr. DeLuca, okay. Call the roll, please.
Mr. DeLuca,
Yes.
Ms. Engel.
Yes.
Ms. Herman.
Yes.
Mayor Adams.
Yes, okay. So with that, we'll move on to the next ordinance on for final, 3165-25.
Yes, Mayor, also on final, ordinance 3165-25 is an ordinance to amend chapter 257 of the Township Code of the Township of Maplewood entitled Vehicles and Traffic. This ordinance will remove the caps that are currently imposed on the number of merchant parking permits that may be issued to a business establishment based upon the number of employees.
This ordinance has been published, copies posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, and copies made available to the public in accordance with the law. Is there anyone opening the hearing for this? Is there anyone who would like to speak on this ordinance? Seeing no one in the room, Mr. Wary, can you see if there's anyone online?
If anyone on Zoom would like to speak on this ordinance, please raise your hand now. I see no hands, Mayor.
Okay, then I'll close the hearing. I move this ordinance be adopted as a whole, and the clerk be directed to publish the same as a passed ordinance in the Maplewood South Orange News Record according to law.
Second.
Mr. DeLuca,
Yes.
Ms. Engel.
Yes.
Ms. Herman.
Yes.
Mayor Adams.
Yes. Next ordinance, 3166-25.
Also on final, Mayor, ordinance 3166-25 is an ordinance amending and restating ordinance 2942-19 of the Township of Maplewood establishing the Maplewood Cares Trust Fund. This ordinance will expand eligibility criteria for recipients of funds from the Maplewood Cares Trust Fund and make certain changes to fund administration.
This ordinance has been published, copies posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, and copies made available to the general public in accordance with the law. I'd like to open the hearing on this ordinance. Is there anyone in the room who would like to speak to this ordinance on the CARES Trust Fund? Anyone online?
If anyone online would like to speak to this ordinance, please raise your hand. I see no hands, Mayor.
Okay, with that, I will take a motion. Deputy Mayor Herman.
I move this ordinance to be adopted as a whole and the clerk be directed to publish the same as a passed ordinance in the Maplewood South Orange News Record according to the law.
I'll second.
Mr. DeLuca?
Yes.
Ms. Engel?
Yes.
Ms. Herman?
Yes.
Mayor Adams?
Yes. And we have one ordinance on for introduction, 3167-25. Ms. Fritzen.
Yes, Mayor, it's item 10A, introduction of an ordinance, ordinance 3167-25 is an ordinance to amend chapter 257 of the Code of the Township of Maplewood entitled Vehicles and Traffic with respect to a portion of Baker Street. This ordinance will implement 1 hour parking on a portion of Baker Street adjacent to the Maplewood Memorial Library.
Okay, this ordinance has been posted, published, copies posted on the bulletin.
No, this is introduction.
Just want to keep reading. I want to finish.
You want me to introduce it?
Yeah, in a minute.
Okay.
Copies made available to the general public in accordance with the law. Mr. DeLuca, would you like to move this ordinance?
I move the passage of this ordinance on first reading, its publication according to law in the Maplewood South Orange News Record, and a hearing to be held on September 16th, 2025.
I'll second. Roll call.
Mr. DeLuca,
Yes.
Sengel.
Yes.
Terman,
Yes.
Mayor Adams.
Yes, thank you. We move from ordinances on to administrative reports. Mr. Weary.
One item, Mayor, this coming Friday, September 15th, we will have our employee appreciation event. So non-public safety offices will close at 12:30 p.m. And we have an event for our staff to recognize them for all the hard work that they do day in and day out for the benefit of our residents. And so thank you to all those employees. And we'll put out a notice to the public, making them aware of the office closure.
Okay,
That's my report.
nothing else?
Nothing else.
Okay, anyone have any questions for our administrator? Seeing none, we'll move on to our attorney, Ms. Credidio.
No report, Mayor.
Okay, I like it. Any questions for our attorney? You have
No,
one?
no, but Mayor, I think we were going to ask Mr. Weary to talk a little bit about a couple of the resolutions that are on the consent agenda regarding the EPA funding.
Oh, sure. Thanks.
Mr. Ware, I think your mic's not on.
Appreciate that. I'll start again. So on tonight's agenda are resolutions mostly identical except for the block and lots to apply to the state's revolving trust fund for the cleanup of contaminated properties. And they are for properties off of Boyden Avenue, somewhat adjacent to the Public Works site. And it would be, we would use those funds to clean up that site. We don't own the sites currently, but we are interested in the sites for the purpose of an 100% affordable housing development. And so as we pursue avenues for how to make that a reality, the cleanup is one of the things that we would have to contend with should we acquire those sites. And so we'll be making that application to the state. The sites are spread across two owner groups. There's one site with one owner and another three of the sites, which are lots with a similar owner as well. Any questions on that? Great.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. DeLuca, for the reminder. Any questions for our attorney? Seeing none, we'll move on to the clerk's office. Ms. Fritzen.
Thanks, Mayor. Just, I wanted to report that coming up later in September, and we will be recognizing the National Voter Registration Day at our next Township Committee meeting, and with a proclamation, and it's a pretty big deal. We'll also, in the clerk's office, be promoting that information and all the other applicable dates for voters to prepare for the November election.
Great. That's all?
All.
Okay.
Mr. Weary took my other item.
Oh, okay. Any questions for Ms. Fritzen? Seeing none, we'll move on to reports from elected officials. Committee Member Engel.
Happy first day of school.
Oh, yeah.
That's my report.
Okay. I like it. Any questions on the first day of school for Ms. Engel? How did the pickup go at the high school? The new route?
Well, I haven't heard any complaints, so that's good. I didn't drive, but I did hear that it wasn't terrible. But drop off, it wasn't a regular day. Only ninth graders went
Tomorrow.
drop off, and and everyone else came at 10. So
I asked
tomorrow.
Mr. Wary to ask our engineer to put more orange cones along the street because I don't think.
You don't think there's
I've gotten a lot of compliments on the orange cones, though, I have to say. People are like, the orange cones, we're very excited.
Yeah, everybody but the mayor felt that way. Okay.
But tomorrow will be the real day. And last year, I feel like, previous years we've heard about crossing guards, whatever. I haven't heard anything either. So I think all our crossing guards positions went well as well. And I know that Mr. Wary is working with the school district about placements, and we're doing some auditing about, where making sure that our crossing guards are in the right locations and kind of just assessing that. And we're doing that in public safety.
Okay. Any other questions for Ms. Engel? Now we'll move to Deputy Mayor Herman.
Thank you, Mayor. School has started and summer is apparently over, but for the next month, come to downtown Maplewood Village on Saturday nights at 5 p.m. for Summer Streets. Summer Streets in September. There'll be music. The portion of the road is closed. A nice time to sort of wind down as we get into the fall season. And then we do have our salsa night on September 20th. Sign up now for the salsa dancing lesson before the party. It's going to be a lot of fun. And that's all I've got.
I'm really sad to miss that, but I hope Mr. DeLuca will be there showing off his dance
I don't know,
moves.
I've only seen him do one step. Any questions for?
I feel a little put upon here.
Just have to dance.
I feel like we should bring salsa dance lessons to our committee meeting
You
in
just need to move your
October.
hips a little more, that's all.
Please get this on tape.
All right. It's your turn for your report, Mr. DeLuca.
Well, thank you, Mayor. I have no report.
Really?
Nothing.
Really? Nope.
Is that the first time?
No, it's close, but no. Okay, so anyone have any questions for Mr. DeLuca before I say?
Are you sure you don't have a report?
Nothing.
All right, so I just want, what is this I have? Oh, I have just two things real quick. The New Jersey planning officials have awarded the Maplewood Memorial Library Project, selected as a recipient of the 2025 New Jersey Planning Officials Achievements in Planning Award. So yay, us, especially Mr. DeLuca for his community room. So they'll be honoring Maplewood at that award dinner. It's a breakfast, sorry, award breakfast. It's September 26th. And we have one free ticket, so only one of us can go. But no, the rest, as many people who want to, Mr. Weird asked that, please ask. I know Sarah Lester is planning on going and she's going to share it with her staff. So if anyone here wants to attend.
Who are we alerting that we want to go?
I want everyone here to let Mr. Weary or Ms. Fritzen's office know if you want to go.
Just one person.
You can let me know.
Okay.
I'll be sure to RSVP for the group.
Yes.
The library is doing another set of RSVPs for board members and staff.
Okay, good. So, and then the second thing is our movie theater redevelopment area community meeting. This will be the 4th, I believe. So if you have input, you want to hear the most updated redevelopment plan, that is on Thursday, September 11th in the Grand Hall at the Woodland at 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. And our planner will be there to explain the updates. And then we'll take community input on that. I hope nobody missed my report on that scene. So that's my report unless anyone has some,
Will that meeting, well, I have a question. Would that meeting be like recorded somehow for members of the public who can't attend? I know it's like a hot topic.
We have a court reporter scheduled like we have in previous meetings, and so the transcript.
It'll be a transcript.
Will be available online.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. With that, can I get a motion? Oh, no, discussion item, Mr. DeLuca.
Thank you, Mayor. So the
I just.
The Engineering, Public Works and Planning Committee received a memo, and the entire Township Committee received a memo from Mr. Kittner requesting that we add Salter Place between Maple Avenue and South Mountain Avenue to the 5 feet from driveway restrictions. And the committee is recommending that we instruct our attorney to amend the ordinance to include Salter Place. And Ms. Creditti, I just forwarded you Mr. Kittner's memo because I see you hadn't received it. So if we're okay with that, we would just, if we're all okay, then we just have the thing be introduced.
Everybody all okay with that?
Sounds good to me.
I do have another street for engineering, public works and planning to discuss, but I can't think of it off the top of my head, but
That's all I have on that.
okay. So that's it for our discussion items. Can I get a motion on the consent agenda with the amendment we made before?
I'm,
Okay.
I move the consent agenda.
Second.
Mr. DeLuca,
Yes.
Sengel,
Yes.
Sermon,
Yes.
Mayor Adams.
Yes. Now it brings us to our second public comment on any subject matter. Anyone in the room who'd like to address the Township Committee may do so. Please identify yourself again, Ms.
Still Michelle Barbaro, 51
That's
Coolidge
good.
Road. Well, and I have a question about the Boyden Avenue sites that you're looking to acquire. Do they have homes or dwellings on them? And how do you plan to acquire them?
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. They're all currently vacant. And as far as acquisition, that's up for discussion. One of the properties does not have an active owner, we'll say. In that there are multiple liens, both at the federal and the municipal level against it that have been resolved for many years. And then the other three properties are owned in common and, the township will engage with those property owners,
I'm
that
sorry.
property owner. We'll engage with the property owner.
Thank you.
So just so they're in redevelopment area too. They're already in a redevelopment area. There's not a residential, it's commercial and industrial property.
Thank you.
Anyone else in the room like to address the Township Committee? Seeing none. Mr. Ware, is there anyone on Zoom?
If anyone on Zoom would like to address the Township Committee, please raise your hand. Moving over David Hellkamp to panelist. Welcome to the public portion, Mr. Hellkamp. You may unmute yourself and address the committee.
Good evening. I just wanted to add that if you have reservations about the cones on Parker, drive west down Parker after midnight with your bright lights on. It's really exciting. The reflections are eye-catching for sure. And the meeting was great tonight, but what a pace. What an incredibly fast pace. Thank you all.
Thank you. Anyone else, Mr. Ware?
Any other members of the public who would like to address the committee, please raise your hand. I see no hands, Mayor.
Okay, then I'll take a motion to go into closed session.
I motion that we go into closed session.
I'll second. Ms. Pritzen?
I'm going to ask our attorney if you want me to read the statement and then take the vote.
Well, first, take our vote. Go ahead. Whatever.
Whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Laws 1975, permits exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas this public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, now therefore be resolved by the Township Committee, Township of Maplewood, County of Essex, State of New Jersey as follows. The public shall be excluded from discussion upon any specified subject matter. The general nature of the subject matter to be discussed is as follows. Mayor, personnel.
Personnel?
It is anticipated at this time that the above stated subject matter be made public.
Move it.
We already moved it and seconded it.
Mr. DeLuca,
Yes.
Bengel.
Yes.
Sermon,
Yes.
Mayor Adams.
Yes. We will come back into open to adjourn the meeting, but it's pretty much all for the show. So, thank you, everyone. Back into open. Oh. All right.
Okay.
For anyone still watching, we're back in open session. Ms. Credidio.
Madam Mayor, whereas Chapter 231 PL 1975, commonly known as the Open Public Meetings Act, requires that all meetings of the public bodies be open to the public, whereas the desire of the governing body to comply with the provisions of this act and at the same time to conduct its business in an orderly and expeditious manner, now therefore be it resolved by the Township Committee of the Township of Maplewood that it does hereby prohibit except as set forth in the formal agenda active participation in deliberations of the governing body by the public and except as otherwise prescribed by law, does limit the public to observation on the actions and discussions of the governing body at all of its regular special meetings. We have a motion to reopen.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Daffis, Mr. DeLuca?
Yes.
Ms. Engel?
Yes.
Ms. Herman?
Yes.
Mayor Adams?
Yes.
Do we have a motion?
We adjourn.
Second.
Jeez. Mr. Daffis?
We're all running this
Mr.
meeting in-
DeLuca?
Yes.
Ms. Engel?
Yes.
Ms. Herman?
Yes.
Mayor Adams?
Yes, thank you, everyone.